Hey, teacher friends, this is Angie in the Rockin This Teacher Thing podcast show, the podcast for early primary teachers that rock their classrooms every day. Today, we have a special episode because today's episode is also over on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. And we have with us Brittany from Fluency and Fitness. She is here to tell us how to keep our students active and learning at the same time, whether it be in the classroom or doing it virtually. So today is a little bit special. If you're listening on Rockin This Teacher Thing, hello. And if you're on YouTube, hello as well. Let's start rocking today's episode. Here we go. Teacher friends, I am so excited you are here with us today because today we have a little bit of something a little bit different. I was on Pinterest the other day and I came across this program that I thought, wow, this is really cool. It incorporates learning skills with movement. And if anybody has ever been in an early primary classroom, you know the more that you can get your students up and moving, the better and faster they are learning. And so today we have a special guest, Brittany from Fluency and Fitness, and she is here to show us how Fluency and Fitness works and some background on it and just her whole story. It's really amazing. I think you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and jump in with today's interview. Here we go. Hey, teacher friends, you are in for a treat today because we have Brittany from Tickled Pink Primary and Fitness and Fluency. She is a former teacher turned teacher helper, and you are going to have just the best time with her today. And so let's get right to it. Brittany, welcome. Hello. Let me put you on the other side. I don't know why. I don't know why I want to be on the other side. Hello, Brittany. Welcome.
It's just a comfort thing. You're okay. Hi. Thank you for having me.
I am so glad you're here today. You're in sunny Florida, which I am a little jealous. It's like 13 degrees here. So
I won't tell you how warm it is here then.
I don't even want to know because I would just pack my bags and just hitchhike because I don't think I could get on a plane right now, but with a mask, I could probably get there in like 6 days on hitchhiking.
Yeah, there you go. I did the cold weather before and we're sticking in Florida. We like the warmer weather down here.
Oh, sounds great. So Brittany, tell me a little bit about you, why you became a teacher and what led to your new adventure.
Sure. So I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. I have it in the family, my mom, my grandma, my aunt. So I've always known since I was really little. And then I even had a third grade teacher that I just had a strong connection to and just really made an impact that just, kind of sold me into education. And so I always did things with kids such as camps and babysitting. And then I went into college and I became a camp director during the summers. And luckily, I was able to get a job right out of college, and I was a kindergarten teacher, which I've always loved the little ones. I wanted preschool and kindergarten, so I was thrilled that not only did I get a job right away, but in the grade that I wanted. I felt really fortunate. And I taught for 8 years, so I'm no longer in the classroom right now, but in that time frame, I had 7 years experience in kindergarten, and then 1 year I did second grade. Not a huge fan, sorry, second grade teachers, but I just like the little ones. They're just more my style.
Second grade is the only grade I didn't teach. I
really
taught kindergarten, actually pre-kindergarten through 8th grade, and second grade is the only one I never got to teach. So.
Oh my gosh, that is such a span of age ranges and having to know what to teach and just thanks.
Crazy. So I kind of envy you with getting to teach second grade, but anyway, sorry to interrupt. So
you're good. Yeah. And so one time during a kindergarten meeting, we used to do these grade level meetings with all the elementary schools. And I had always kind of shared resources with some teachers, I'd email them things that I would create for my own students. And one of the teachers was like, Brittany, you should totally post this on Teachers Pay Teachers. And that was back in 2012, I believe. And I hadn't heard of the website. I personally wasn't even using it just to get on there for things for my own classroom. Cause if I couldn't find things that I liked, I just made them myself. So that year, I think I posted like one thing. And then the next year I started to post a little bit more, and it was like so exciting when someone buys your thing. Even if you make like 85 cents on it, you're just like, yay!
It's so motivating. You're like, wow, this is awesome.
Yes, it's the fact that like, somebody else, you're saving somebody else time and helping them. And then it's also just like, well, they liked your thing when you get the feedback and you find out that it helped them or their kids liked it. It just makes you want to like keep creating more and more. And so in 2014, I started to get a little more serious, and I created my first product line, which is called Fluency in Fitness. And that is kind of what I'm known for. And I'll tell you how this came about, because it's just kind of like a crazy story that we look back on now. But my husband and I were just trying to like get a little bit healthier that year, and so we were kind of on a little bit of a mini fitness journey, I guess. And one night when I was sleeping, I had a dream of a TPT product, because that's what we do. We dream about creating. Or if you're in the classroom, you just dream about lessons and, those kind of things. And I'd had a dream about Fluency in Fitness. The name had already come to me in my dream. I could picture like the kids on the screen and just the layout of everything. So it was about 1 a.m. in the morning, and I literally got out of bed, went downstairs, and just made an entire game. The first one I made was an alphabet game. Wow. And I was so excited about it. I like couldn't believe that I found the clip art that I had already been like thinking of. And I just knew that like this would be a perfect way to incorporate some exercises and fitness and fun into the classroom for my students. So that's kind of where the fitness side came from. And then I wanted to still make it educational. So it has an educational component where, it'd be like alphabet, where the kids would practice the alphabet slides. And then occasionally they would take a little exercise break. So that's kind of how Fluency in Fitness started. And it just has grown from there. And I have other product lines. But last year, I started our website, which is a membership site, and it's fluencyinfitness.com. And just a few months ago, we actually added like a little like plus sign. So now it's like Fluency in Fitness Plus, because I just keep adding to the site and just adding more of my material in there, because I just want to give our members so much stuff to use. And I think it's super helpful to just log on to one website, not have to download a ton of stuff. Like you just log on to a website, you click the games, and you can go, and you have access to everything. So I just keep adding. So that's kind of how the name has changed. So I'm Tickled Pink and Primary. That's my blog. That's my brand. That's how I started. But Fluency in Fitness has like slowly started to kind of take over. So some people know me as that as well.
And that's how I found you on Pinterest, was through Fluency in Fitness. And when I looked at it, when I watched it, I was like, what the heck is this? This is like magic. I could just imagine a room full of kindergartners or first graders, because as teachers, we know our kids need brain breaks, and they need a lot of brain breaks. But then sometimes it's like, well, we also need to learn.
Yes.
And their little bodies are not meant to just sit and for hours and even over 10 minutes, it seems like they start getting antsy. And those, especially, I don't want to stereotype it, but those little boys, the way they learn is through moving and interacting. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It is like a brain break and a learning lesson all in one. This is so cool. This is so cool.
It's like sometimes I think about it, just the concept of it is so simple. But it is like when I had started making it, I hadn't heard of Go Noodle. And so like brain breaks weren't really a thing. I think they came around like right around that time or maybe the year after. But our schools, especially with the younger ones, because I've always done the younger kids, I agree with you. The fun things in class are starting to get taken out, and especially those last couple of years. So I can't even imagine in like the last 5 or 6 years that I've been out of the classroom, all the things that have been pulled again. And I just felt like kids need to have fun and they need to learn. And your administrators are like, every second of the day needs to count, like get rid of free play, get rid of crafts. And so I knew like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble if I just throw in like a fun little break. So I threw in the educational component so I can get away with like, oh, they're like working out and getting those wiggles out, but we're still learning. And like the kids, it's just like they think it's fun, so they don't realize how much learning they're doing during that little 2 to 3 minute video. We even have teachers that join, and the kids love it when the teacher participates and they do the exercises. And the teachers are like, this is a good way I need to get myself up and moving. And even if it's only 2 minutes, the kids see that interaction with the teacher and it's fun. And you're right, this year's a little different because of all the virtual teaching, so everybody's trying to do them over Zoom calls, and it's still fun.
Does it work over Zoom, or how
it does? It totally. So we totally revamped the website over the summer to make it virtual teaching friendly. We rebuilt everything so that you could do it over a Zoom call and just present your screen, and then your kids can just see it and they, shout out their answers and kind of do it in their living room. Or we have it now to where you can actually send the video to your students and assign it in Seesaw, and they can click a link and just play it by themselves at home. But I will admit, it is so much more fun to play in the classroom as a group, and you hear all these little giggles and the snickering and the shouting out of the answer, and I love it. So I haven't volunteered, obviously, because of COVID and everything, but even for me to just go into a classroom and volunteer and like watch the kids again doing them and having fun, it's awesome.
So fun. Would you like to show us your website?
Sure.
Is it available?
Yeah, I can pull that up. You get it?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I'll show you like the site where you can sign up if you're interested at all. And I do have a coupon code for your followers. So I will tell you about that a little bit and how they can use that. But when you become a member, this is your homepage, basically. This is our main library page. And so we've been talking about Fluency and Fitness, which is the left column. And I told you that I added this little plus sign at the top to our logo because I've slowly been adding some of my other popular products, which would be Fluency Find It. And then we have digital task cards as well. And these are going to be sort of similar to like your boom cards. Our task cards collect data. Teachers can print reports to see how their students do. And then you can either just scroll through. We have thousands of activities. So what I tell our members to do is you can either just type in, like here I've got alphabet. If I type in alphabet, it will pull up strictly, whoops, hold on, let me hit enter. There we go. Strictly the alphabet games. And then, you could even say, okay, well, I only want like the Fluency and Fitness alphabet games, and it'll kind of do that as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is all stuff that I didn't have before because I had originally designed the website myself. And then over the summer, when I really wanted to help teachers with virtual teaching, I hired someone because I was like, okay, we need to make this easier to sort. And you can see that you can like assign games and view reports and all those kind of things. But these are our categories. So when I say that we have thousands of games, there are like any skill you can think of, K through 2, we offer it. And then you can even sort by grade level if you want to as well.
Wow.
So yeah. And then
so
you just
what grade levels is it?
Yeah. So I tell people it's K through 2. I do have a pre-K option here just because there are so many early kindergarten, those first month or two that you could use in pre-kindergarten.
Yes.
Same thing with 3rd grade. I have some 3rd grade members because, some of those end of the year 2nd grade stuff you could use with some of your 3rd graders that are struggling or at the beginning of the year. But K through 2 is what I tell people because that's pretty much, I want you to get the most out of your membership. And I just don't want to say that it's, 3, 4, 5, and then you guys don't find very much content on here for you.
Yeah, I hate resources that say it's like a K-5 resource. It's not.
Yes. Yes, I know it's, it could be, but like, let's be honest and just tell you what it is. And
yeah.
We get people asking, well, can you put this on there? Can you put division? Can you put, like, my older kids want to move too. And sorry, guys, I'm trying to really stick to like what I know and what I enjoy creating. And I've already admitted that upper elementary is just not my thing.
Yes. I agree.
So this is kind of like the website. I can show you like what one of the videos looks like.
Yeah.
You would just pull it up, you make it full screen. And then we'll go kind of scroll through really quick.
Okay.
It'll give you the directions, and then your kids. So this one was one less, I think the game was called. So they would shout out the number that is one less, and then like an answer pops up so they can see if they get it right.
Oh,
And then every
self-checking.
so often, whoo, that is loud. Every so often we have different exercises kind of thrown in throughout the video.
Oh, I see. So they do a few exercises, then a little screen pops up and they do whatever action it is.
Yes.
Ah,
Yep. And the
cool.
actions are about 10 seconds. So, it's enough to give your kids a few movements. And the exercise slides have music as well. And then when you get back to the slides with the educational component, those do not have any kind of music or background sound. And the reason I chose to do it that way is because I want your students to know, okay, now's the time to have fun and we can be silly and do our exercises. But then as soon as that slide transitions back to our learning, we need to settle down, do a little bit of learning, and then, oh, now we can have a little bit of fun, and then kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, that audio cue is really important. Wow. So cool.
Yeah. And then I
So
do,
people
I'll just show you this.
yeah.
Sorry. One couple of things that I've added recently, I'm adding all kinds of holiday games. And my followers are really loving these because for the holiday games, I use different exercises that are like themed. So for like Halloween, we had Walk Like Frankenstein, or the one for Thanksgiving, I had Shake Your Tail Feathers. And so the kids kind of had to like shake their booty and they loved it.
I love
So
it.
there's a handful of different exercises for the holiday ones. And then I also have, these are called power workouts. So these are not going to have an educational component. It is strictly going to be just like this one is like 4 minutes of just doing exercises,
Nice.
and just kind of walk them through again. So I try to choose, I wanted this to be inclusive. So we have kids with different skin colors, different
Yes.
hair colors. And, we just really wanted to make all students feel represented in our
Yes.
products.
What I could see using that one for is when kids are getting ready for recess. If you put that on, the ones that are waiting to go outside that potentially could be causing problems,
Yes.
they could be doing some exercises while they wait for everybody else to get in line. It's so
Yes,
cool.
we
Yeah.
hear from our members that they use these activities for literacy and math time. They you can use them whole group, or like I said, right now after virtual teaching, you could send these to your students and let them do them on their own. Teachers do them for morning meetings, inside recess, brain breaks, transition times. So I mean, there are just so many different ways to use it throughout the day that our members say that they get a lot of use out of it, which makes me
Oh,
happy.
oh yeah. This is so cool. Anything else you want to show us on your website?
Yeah, I can show you. So we do have a student area where you can, let's see, I've got some like test kind of fake students in here.
Uh-huh.
So you can build a classroom so that you can assign games. I could come in here and assign a ton of games just for Brittany to play. You can view the reporting like that. You can also assign games in the library right here. If I do assign game, I'm going to assign this one game, and I can assign it. We have two different versions. So the beginning version is going to be a slower, gives your students more time to answer. And then the advanced version is going to be when they're more fluent. So I could assign like this game to my entire class. I could assign it, I can assign groups. So this might be like my green reading group or my purple reading group. And then I also have like a list of students. So this is what the teachers, when they're virtual teaching, they're using that assign feature if they're not playing these things whole group.
I see. Yeah, that is an
And
added benefit because sometimes kids can jump onto a Zoom call, but also when they're done with the Zoom call, what do they do? You know,
yes,
it's like
I know. And I know even some of these parents are using these at home. Our members have
yes,
said that the parents are loving to have something to do because it's just a tough time for everybody right now. And
yeah.
so everybody, teachers and parents are just looking for lots of resources to keep the kids engaged. active at home. So, we've got a little bit of everybody using the website.
I bet parents would absolutely, man, this is like pure gold.
Yes. Okay. Then I'm going to stop sharing. We can just go back to like chatting.
Okay.
But I will share again later on, and I will show you the main website, and then give your followers a coupon code, and kind of explain that. But we'll do that at the end. We'll like hold them in suspense right now.
So you have a special little something for us at the end? That
Yes.
is so exciting.
Yes, yeah, I wanted to, say thanks. This is, I told you earlier, this is like my first podcast interview, so I was a little nervous, but I wanted to do a little something special for all of your followers that are taking me in onto the podcast today, and so we're gonna give them a small little like bonus compared to what our typical members that sign up will receive.
Well, they are the best teachers in the world that listen, and they are from all over the world. So, is this something like if I taught in Australia, I could purchase, or Africa or Japan, or no?
Yes, absolutely. Everything's going to be in English,
Okay.
so that's something to consider. We don't have any other languages right now. But yes, we also have members from all over the world that are using this. So anybody can use this. And the nice thing is that, we're a really small business.
Hmm.
It's myself that runs the company. My husband helps me. So when you have issues or questions and you write in, you're getting myself or my husband answering you. And we don't have kids. So like the business is our life. We're on
Yeah.
on our devices all the time. So we respond, most of the time within hours, definitely same day. And so, if anyone, especially from like another country, hey, how do I do this? Or like maybe our schools are different and we do this instead of what you guys do in America. We are here to help. And we would love for anybody to use this with their students. I constantly add, I do have, like an idea for like, oh gosh, maybe like a year down the road to add or something. My brain just like constantly goes.
Yes.
And like you said with your followers, like I think our members are amazing. We have a Facebook group where I will ask them suggestions. Before I do something, before we even launched the website, I had a ton of teachers go in there and look at things and give me advice. And, I just wanted things to be so user friendly. And so now I ask my members, what skills are you working on in December? What can I make the Christmas games so that I know that you're going to be able to use them?
Oh,
And
that's very valuable.
it helps me so much to be able to come up with the content, but then I know that it's not just going to be fluff that I'm putting on the website. It's something that they can truly use at that time frame. So I constantly add content to the website. The task cards, like I said, those are all brand new stuff that we added over the summer. And anytime we add anything to the website, our current members, like they don't have to pay anything more. They've locked in their price. As long as they're active, they are getting flooded with all of this new stuff for free, which is amazing.
So nice.
Yeah, it's not like I actually just the other day had like the Netflix come up. It's like, your price is raising. And you understand because their platform is growing so much. But at the same time, you're like, hey, I've been a member for like 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Grandfather me in, please.
Yes. So that's what we do with our members. And I do have, we are working on building a drag and drop system so that I can have a lot of my games right now. You just kind of click the right answer, but we're going to have like the movable pieces and the drag and drop games. It's just a lot more complicated to build. And we, wanted to make sure that by August and September, our website was 100% functioning for virtual teaching, and that we wanted to get the Fluency Find It and the digital task cards added so that our members could have like 3 different types of resources to use.
Yeah, depending on what they need and when they need it, they have
Yes.
it. Yeah, and easy to find, it looks like. Just so easy. Great.
Yeah, if you just went through and like scrolled, you would just be lost because there's so many videos. So I just tell people, hey, just use those little filters, type in addition or drop down and find place value. And that's the easiest way to find things. And you may find things that, oh, like this is more first grade material. I probably wouldn't have even thought about looking at this because I'm so used to looking at kindergarten. But then you see it. And so when your students are ready, you know that you're going to be able to either have content to go up or down depending on your kids' abilities.
Yeah, and if you can assign them some activities, then you can really differentiate and make sure that what they're getting is what they need. So
Yes. Yep.
that's so cool. Oh,
Well,
I
thanks.
love
Yeah,
it.
it's super exciting. I actually bought the domain for fluencyandfitness.com in 2016,
Yeah.
and not until last year did I like get the guts enough and like really believe this could be a thing. I bought the domain thinking, oh, someday like I'd love to have a website for our stuff. And finally, I will say it was with the help of my husband that kind of pushed me like, this is what you wanted. Like, let's try it. Like, and if it flops, it flops. But,
Yeah, nothing
so
lost.
yes, I agree. And so to anybody that is creating or just anybody that, even if you're not creating and you just have this idea, I'm going to be one of those people that says like, go for it. Just, you never know.
Totally. People, if they have an idea, and teachers pay teachers is a great place for them to start. And then, honestly, once you sell one product and earn 85 cents, it's like, what? This is so
Yes,
awesome.
it's
And
so
then,
exciting.
and then you got this dream and you went for it. That is an inspiration. That's amazing. That's what good teachers want our students to do, right? So,
Right. Yeah, it is true. That's what we
so
tell the kids.
great. Great. Okay. So,
Yeah. I will tell you about, we do have a school membership. So if any of your members are interested in, once we give them that little coupon at the end, if they try it out for a little bit and then they want to contact us about seeing for their school to purchase, we do memberships. We do like a tiered program depending on how many you buy. The more you buy, the bigger the discount you get. But as a previous teacher, I know that we spend so much money on our classrooms. And a lot of
yes.
times I was always hesitant to ask my principal for money. You just think they're going to say no.
Yeah.
I would say the majority of our members are paying for this out of pocket, but I always tell them, you guys never know. We have a lot of schools that we work with, and sometimes schools only buy like 2, but then we have schools that sometimes buy 20 for all their K-2 teachers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to ask. And especially you can bring the administration in and have them watch your class do it, because we get a lot of members that are like, oh my gosh, like I did this during observation and my administration was like, wow, your kids were so engaged. This was awesome. And then they email us and say, okay, now my school wants to know, how can we get this for everybody?
Yeah.
So I thought I'd
And
throw that out.
maybe PTAs, it's coming into December. PTAs are like, teachers, can we have a wish list? You could put this on your wish
Yes.
list and get it for the rest of the year and into the next year. That'd be awesome.
And even donors choose, like we've had people do donors choose or
Yes.
even write local grants. I mean, there's just,
Yes.
I know, like I said, we're just used to spending our own money, but I want the teachers to be able to like have somebody else pay this for you. Like there are ways to try to get somebody else to fund it.
Yeah.
And we try to help out when we get multiple licenses like that.
Great.
Yeah, it's been exciting when we get a school order in. I have a little chart with like the United States, and then I color in a state each time to try to like fill all of America with
Well, come
what
on,
school,
Montana.
what states are we in? Yeah. So it's kind of a fun thing for me too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we work with schools, so we're happy to help.
That is awesome. That is great. So, teacher friends, there's no excuse, because at the end of this podcast, at the end of this video, there's going to be a little extra something. There will be no excuse. Okay? So, let's get into the hot seat.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I have it all written down here. All right, hot seat. Your favorite book, it can be adult or a favorite book type, adult or kid, whatever.
Okay. Well, I would say that I love like reading to students. So it'd be a picture book. And this is everybody in my family. Our favorite picture book is The Monster at the End of This Book. Have you read that one?
Yes, I love
Yes,
it.
I know. And the reason we are all obsessed with that like I said, I told you my mom was a teacher, so she's really good at read alouds and like animation. And so when we were little, like she would do the monster and just be so animated, and we just loved it. And so I would try to, pretend to be her when I was teaching and read that book to class. And then she buys that book for all the grandkids and reads it to them. And it's just like this little like special thing we have in our family with like, oh, there's mom's book.
I think that book is probably as old as I am, honestly. And because I remember when I was little, I would like look on the other side and then look back and like, is this, some sort of magic?
Yeah, you're like scared to turn the page. And, you're like, Mom, no,
don't do it. It's so engaging. That is a good one. Awesome. Okay, favorite classroom tool.
I didn't use these when I was teaching because I think they came out afterwards, I believe, but I would totally use them in the classroom, and I recommend them to teachers to use them. They're called Frixion. It's by Pilot, and they're erasable markers. So they're like little skinny markers, and they come with like an eraser at the top of the cap, and they're amazing. Students could use these, at their writing center when they're writing.
Are these it?
We got them. Yes.
These are it. They're awesome.
I actually just found over the summer that they kind of have like a flare pen style now. Oh. So they have a different style, but they're awesome because not only can you get around with a marker, but then it's like, oh, if I mess up, I can just erase it. I mean, they would be great for, your anchor charts. Or like I said, like when I did a writing center, I always let my kids have like fun writing tools.
Yes.
Because teachers like fun writing tools. Like, why should kids have to always use pencils?
Right.
So anyway, they're Frixion Pilot markers. You can get them on Amazon, Target, like whatever. I think it's like a 10 pack for $12 or something.
Yeah. I got mine at Target. So
yeah.
Anything erasable. Sign
me up. Yes. So much easier because I used to, when I did anchor charts, I would use that little white, what's that like white tape that you use to cover up your mistakes?
Yeah. Yeah. And it looked horrible.
Yeah. So this way, this is nice. You're just like, oh, nobody's going to know.
Done. I love them too. All right. Favorite part of your school day?
Read alouds.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like picture books, just having a few minutes to read a book and talk about it. And there's just something about reading books. I don't know. I just loved it.
I do too. It was my favorite part too. Favorite stress buster. What do you do to bust that?
Massages. I do a monthly massage. I have a membership. And I've probably had that, oh my gosh, like 6 or 7 years now. I've always loved like a head rub or a back rub. And it's just a nice way to just go sit in a quiet room, like force myself to get off a device for an hour and just kind of treat myself. So, and they're always like, oh, do you have a pain? Or like, what are you in here for? I'm like, no, just to like enjoy myself and just like take an hour of stress-free nap.
Massages are the best. Teachers, that should be just like part of your compensation is a massage.
Oh my gosh, like the tension that's all built up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, funniest thing a student ever said or did?
Okay, so this one is kind of easy. I was teaching in kindergarten, and I had a student that was a little bit of he was a runner. And so I was just one of those students you kind of had to keep an eye on and make sure he didn't like take off out of the classroom. And so one time he took off, and when I taught, I would teach in heels. It's funny because like now I don't wear them ever that I work from home, but I did. Like I was young and I like loved heels. And so anyway, so I got out of my rocking chair and I'm like trying to like run around the room and tell my aide, like, hey, stay here, I gotta go. And one of my kids in the back of the room, as I'm starting to like run, he goes, this is gonna get good. And I like tried not to like laugh because I was like, yeah, this is gonna get good. Watching Mrs. Lynch like run out of the room in heels after a child. So that's kind of one of the only ones, just because I think the phrase just really stuck with me. Like, funny. This is gonna get good. And the way he said it too is just funny.
Kids are the funniest. And those little things just stick with you. And now you probably use that phrase like your whole life. And
Yeah,
every
I
time you
know.
do, you think of that kid.
I
That's
think of
so
them.
fun.
Yep.
Okay, favorite art project?
Um, the disguise a turkey. We always did those for November, send home the little turkey on construction paper and let parents be
Yes.
creative and come up with like a costume or decorations to put them in. And I just always, I love the fact that like it was a parent project, the parents got engaged, and I felt like no matter where my kids came from, that was like one project that every parent would participate in. And so I loved that part of it. And then the kids would bring them in, and it was so fun to just hang them up on a bulletin board and see, all of the like creative materials that they used to disguise them. And then just to find out like what costume they disguised the turkey in and why. So that was always one of my favorites to do.
That's a great at home project. I never thought of that. That's
Yeah.
perfect. It's very inclusive too, because, not everybody celebrates other holidays, but the disguise of turkey, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
And you can
so
use
good.
anything. So, I mean, like I said, like anybody from any background, like put some tissue paper on it or, Kleenex or whatever, foil, like anything you have at your house, just throw something on there and turn them into something else.
Totally. I love that. That's a keeper right there. Okay, favorite smelly marker.
It would be a strawberry scent because that's my favorite. The Mr. Sketch. I
Yeah,
think that's what the brand is. Okay, yeah. So the little strawberry Mr. Sketch.
Mr. Sketch is the smelliest.
Yeah, yeah, they do, and they have so many like flavors now.
Oh, I know. It's gone nuts. It's gone nuts because smelly markers are the best. So, okay, how about favorite low or no cost class reward?
I always did like a lunch with a teacher.
Yeah.
That was always like a big bonus. I had a clip chart for a while, which I know is very controversial, whether that's like a good thing or not so good thing. But when they were popular, I had one, and if they got to the top to pink, sometimes those were the things that they could choose from if they'd earned enough like little. I used to let them put glitter stickers on their clips, and so it was like after they got so many dots on their clip, and they could have lunch with the teacher or pick something else. But I just always felt like that was my favorite because you have so many students and you don't get a lot of one-on-one time
Yep.
with them, and so it was special for them. They thought it was so cool to like eat in the classroom and eat with Mrs. Lynch. And it was just like a special time to like get some of that one-on-one time with that kid and really dig in a little bit more with them.
Yeah, that's such a good relationship building time.
And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. So a lot of times we think of prizes as having to buy our kids junk from the Dollar Tree, but having lunch with a teacher is so much cooler than that.
Time is it.
Yeah.
When we can give them our time, they recognize the value of that. So that's really great. Okay, have you ever come to school dressed as someone else?
For Halloween.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah, well, some of my schools didn't allow Halloween parades,
Sure.
and some of them did. So one year I was Big Bird, and I had like this like huge head and the socks and the fluffy, whatever. Yeah, so Big Bird was one costume, and then one year my aide and I were the Incredibles, and so we dressed up together, and that was really fun to do.
Oh, I bet
And the
that
kids
was
liked it.
that's so great.
See,
Oh
this is
my.
why I like the little ones because you can come in dressed like Big Bird or like something silly, and they think it's awesome. They're not, too cool or
Yeah, they're all for that. They're like, yeah, it's Big Bird.
yes.
You're so awesome, Miss Lynch. It's true, I am.
You're right.
All right. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Our
How
coupon.
can the listeners and the viewers get your product for a little bit extra fun?
Yeah. So, all right, I'll share our screen again so I can
Okay.
take you to our Fluency and Fitness website.
Super.
Okay, so this is our website. It's Fluency, and the word "and" is spelled out, even though it's not in our logo. Fluencyandfitness.com. And so this just gives you background information. You can learn all about the different games right here. You can watch some of the videos to see what they look like in action, and then more details. But if you keep coming down, we have 3 different plans depending on what you want. I give you the Fluency Find It. You get all that content as a bonus when you buy Fluency and Fitness. So we have 3 plans. We let you decide if you want to do monthly, quarterly, or yearly. So you do this plan with the Fitness and the Find It. Maybe you're only a task card member, or if you say, hey, I love it all. We love everything from Tickled Pink and Primary. I want it. You would pick something from the pink column. But up here at the top, it says try any plan for 7 days for $1. So our main members get a whole week trial for just $1. And then they can, continue that after the week. They get charged like, this normal billing amount right here. Or you can always, if you decide that it's not for you, you can go into your account and you can cancel by the end of the week so that you don't get billed. But I'm going to click on a plan. Let's do this one. And I already have the coupon built in at the top. So for your members, they're going to kind of have to take this coupon out, and I'll show you how they're going to do that. Okay. So if I want this one, it says that I'm using the coupon dollar trial to get 1 week for $1. But your members are going to click down here where it says I'm using a coupon. Okay. I don't want that coupon. I'm going to type in the coupon Rockin Teacher, ROCKIN TEACHER.
Awesome.
So don't put the G on it. It's not rocking. Rockin Teacher. And then if I click outside of that box, then it will reestablish a coupon. And we are giving your members an extra week. So instead of 1 week for $1, we are letting your members have 2 entire weeks for $1.
Oh, that's
and then they
awesome.
would get billed whatever their typical payment is.
Oh, that's awesome. Because
so, we just wanted to say thanks for having us on and thanks for listening. So we just thought, you get 14 days to use this with your students, play around, and see if it's something that you want to continue.
You could schedule an observation.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome? You could schedule an observation and have your administrator come in and say, hey, I need $100. And they'd be like, take the money.
Yeah, here you go.
Just do it. It'd be awesome.
So we thought that, that would be something fun for all of your followers, but it's just a little confusing because instead of trying to give normal people a coupon, I just went ahead and put it in the link. So yours will have to kind of go in there and like delete my normal coupon and enter in Rockin Teacher. And then once you kind of click outside of that box, it'll refresh and you'll see 2 weeks for $1.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. That's so fun. Brittany, if they need to get a hold of you, if they want to find out more, how can they find you?
Sure. So I have Facebook, which is my Facebook page is Tickled Pink and Primary. I'm on Instagram as well, which is Tickled Pink and Primary. And then I have a YouTube page, but I just kind of use that. I don't do any kind of interviewing or anything. So it's under Brittany Lynch for the YouTube page, but it's pretty much just showing videos of Fluency and Fitness in action and letting you kind of get a sneak peek of what they look like. And then if they want to email us, if they have any questions or they're curious about that school plan that we mentioned and they want a brochure to pass along, they can email me personally. It would be Brittany, BRITTANY @fluencyandfitness.com.
Fantastic.
And I can hook them up.
Great. Fantastic. All right, teacher friends. So no excuse. Get that 2-week $1 trial. Try it out in your classroom. Use it on your Zoom calls. Assign some students some stuff. See how it goes. I think it's going to be awesome.
Hopefully when you try it, you'll just get hooked and see the engagement and the excitement from your kids, because I feel like anytime I saw that, that's kind of what sold me to keep making them, because I realized how much the kids liked them.
Oh, yeah. I bet they're just all about it. All right. Okay, teacher friends. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. All right. Teacher friends, did you enjoy that as much as I did? I mean, when you look at the possibilities that fluency and fitness can bring to your classroom, whether it be in your classroom or during distance learning, it's really a great resource. And with the extra coupon code, bring in your administrator, show them what's going on, tell them that you want to test it, pilot it. That's what I always used to do. Hey, I want to pilot this. Can the school pay for it? Administrators go for the pilot thing all the time. And tell them that you'll present it at a staff meeting and show your findings and things like that. So go ahead and take advantage of that. I think you're going to love it. And remember, you are amazing just the way you are. In 2021 to come, you are going to be doing some things in your classroom that you have never done before. And you will be influencing your students. They need you and they love you. And remember, you need to rest. You need to take care of yourself, and you need to say yes to yourself and no to other things. Okay? That is super important because there's only one of you. Only one of you. And so take care of you because the world needs you. All right, teacher friends, I will see you next time on Rockin This Teacher Thing. Until next time, God bless you and bye-bye.